Okay, so we're going to create a fixture today, a light fixture to be exact. I'm going to go to my home view, make sure you're working in your 3D modeling, so you can change your hair, 3D modeling. And we're going to create a circle from the top, bottom, and you'll see what we're going to be designing. Designing the top, diameter about 4 inches. You can start extruding it out, but I'm not going to do that before I start offsetting it to give it a cut that I'm looking for. I'm going to offset it about 0.25, and the thickness of my glass that's going to be going is 0.25 again. But the glass should be a little bit, the opening should be a little bit bigger, so you could actually fit it without a problem. So we're giving it a tolerance. To do this, I'm going to offset it 0.1 both ways. So offset 0.01, going this way and going this way. So I have basically 5 lines, 5 circles. First one is going to be my actual top that's connected to the ceiling, which is going to be about 2 inches. Nope, that's a little long. Extrude. It's going to be 1 inch. Next part is I'm going to have to extrude this part, but before I do that, I want to press pull it. That way, it's not going to extrude the whole part and create problems about subtracting. So I'm going to move the bottom part, the inside part, which is made of glass. I'm going to move it down. Make sure your ortho is on. About, let's say 5 inches. That looks about right. And I'm going to use the press pull command, which is right here. Select that, and I'm going to go up 0.5. So we have something like this. Now to get a better visual view, I recommend going to conceptual. So something like that. You have this part. You have this part. Now we're going to use the subtract command. Select the big box first, the big circle first, cylinder, and select the other. Oops, doesn't look like I got it. And there we go. So it cuts it out. Now I can extrude or press pull my glass, which will be press pull my glass. Oh, it's going to cause problems. There we go. Up 5.5, since that gap up there is ½ inch and it's 5 inches away from the beginning of the cylinder. So something like this. Fits in perfect, and so forth. Now to give it a little bit more unique design, I'm going to use slice command to slice a piece of it off to make it a cool, unique shape. So I'm going to go to like a right view. I have to change my UCX, otherwise I won't be able to draw on this view. So I'm going to go to my view, change my UCX to right, so it matches it. Now I'm going to go back to my home view. I'm going to use spline. I'm just going to give it an example of what kind of cut I want. Of course, your shape should be different. And I'm going to connect it from the top. Something like this. Now, I want to do is combine these two, so I'm going to use p-edit. Select M for multiple. Select both. Yes, and join. Oh, sorry. Yes, and J for join. So we have something like this. We're moving it over to the front or the quadrant, or you can even do the center. It's up to you. And now I just realized it's a bit too big, I think, on the edges. So I'm going to move it back. I'm going to move it, rotate. Oh, that's going to cause problems now. Let's see if I can stretch it across. Well, you guys will see why I did not really like this, but it's okay. I'll put it in a quadrant so you can see it in the front. That's my design. I'm going to extrude it out. I don't want to extrude both all the way, or maybe I want to, but I'm going to keep it, actually I'm going to keep it all the way through. Make it really interesting. And I'm going to use the slice command. This time I'm going to use the surface to slice my object. To do this, I will go to slice, select the objects I want to slice, enter, and go pick S for surface right here, and select the surface like so. So I have this sliced off. I'm gonna move it over about distance. I'll keep it specified that way you can keep track. 10 inches. Actually, that looks pretty cool as it is. So maybe I can do 2. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna copy this part, 10. Rotate this. You can use the 3D rotate if you feel a little more comfortable with that. Rotate. And you can see that's a little short. So I'm going to have to extend it out in just a bit. Or actually I can just move this down using the Z coordinate down 0.5. So I have 2 fixtures right now. One's here, one here. I create a copy because I like to keep my progress copied. That way I know where I got the idea from, how I did it, and so forth. I'm going to remove the surfaces. Oh, you can see that I cut it a little too much here. That's alright. What I can do is use the separate command, just right here. Select the object, and I click enter. And it separates it from being one item. So if I go back here, you see if I select this little piece, it selects the whole item. That's not what I want. I want to just take that and remove it. So there's my design for 2 light fixtures. Now, next big step is going to be that I need to put a light inside so I can do some rendering. To do this, I go to my render option. There's a create a light. I'm going to create a point light. Yes, I do want to turn off the default lighting because it's recommended. And I'm placing this at the center of the cylinder at the bottom. Like so. They ask about specification of the name. I just click space and just keep it as it is, simple. So I might want to move it up, down a little bit if I need to, but I think it should be okay. I'm going to copy that. See, it selected it, copied it, copy from that point to that point. So I have it both. Now do I do a quick demo? I'll just do a render, just to see if the light's not penetrating through the top. No, pretty much don't see much because the material is solid, so the light's not coming through, and it has nowhere to show shadows or so forth. So next step would be to create material and place it onto our new light fixtures. To do this, I usually go to my view command, render, advanced render settings, or you can go to materials browser. I change it to presentation because my computer is a bit faster, so I want to get it more detailed right off the bat. I exit that out. I go to materials browser. From here, I will select a material that best fits my design. Let's see if they have glass. Glass black, glossy gold. I'm not sure if that would work. Clear. Okay, that's what I was looking for. Clear blue for this one, and maybe clear green for this. So I have 2 different ones, and then I got to put a top material and bottom material. So for top, I try not to use the same things, so it gives it more. Here, blue was this one, green was this one. Okay, something like that. I do my rendering now, and you can see the light actually coming down. Now there's an issue because the light's not quite going through, and you don't see the tops because there's no light fixated on top of them. Now there's a few options you can do. Right now I can change the background. So if I type in background, I can choose, actually I'm going to use gradient. And I'm using the default settings for the grays. So it gives a nice gray area in the back. We'll render it again. This time I actually see them pretty well. In addition, if you want more light onto this object to give it a better view, you may want to put a spotlight. To do this, I usually draw reference lines so I know where I place my spot line. So I'm going to get a center point between these two light fixtures and about a distance away to place the spotlight. I'm also going to move this down using Z coordinates to about center it to the center of the fixture. Later I'm going to delete both lines. Well, I just deleted one. I'll delete the other one once I have my spotlight in place. So I go back to render, create light. I go to spotlight. I select where my flashlight should be. You can call it a flashlight, and at which point it's pointing at, like so. It's asking you for options. I just click enter to keep it simple. Now we do the render again. Hopefully you can see a difference. If you can't remember the difference, no worries, because you have the output file names. You can select the other ones and it will show you what you changed. So with this light, it had quite a bit more visual view. You can tell the material on top is actually colored. You can change the intensity of the lights, and there's so many options, it's unbelievable. I'm just going to rotate it just to get a better view through rotation. I'm going to render it once more, and you can see the nice color of blue on top and green, and the actual light inside is flashing out. So here's a few. I'm not sure if these will be made because it looks a little sharp for some people, but we'll keep them. And flashlight. Alright, not flashlight. Light fixture. And I prefer using JPEG since it's a smaller format file and can be opened pretty much by any computer. Close that out, and we have our two light fixtures with material and a light placed inside. And again, you could modify it, you could change it to anything you like. So keep that in mind. Thank you for watching.